Make sure I get my good side. Which one? I forgot which side's my good side. So just make sure that I look good. You feel me? You feel me? Hey everybody, it's Demond with 57 Flavors, and I have some tips for beginners. Number one, invest in good pots and pans. Everything else in the kitchen is pretty interchangeable. Your measuring cups, your spatulas, your large spoons, your ladles, all that type of stuff, you can get cheaper products. But when it comes to your pots and pans, those are your heat conductors. Those are what distribute the heat. You want to make sure that you get good stuff. What do I mean when I say good stuff? Heavier pots and pans. When you pick them up, they're kind of heavy, have some weight to them. Don't look like they're supposed to be that heavy. Maybe have a little lip on the bottom. Those are the ones that I've noticed are very good. Another thing, stainless steel. The non-stick is amazing, great when you first get them. Then after a while, non-stick is not non-stick. It also kind of cooks off into your food, this, that, and the other. I would just stick with stainless steel. They last a very long time. When you're making an investment in pots and pans, you want some good ones, get stainless steel. They last a very long time. You can clean them and keep them spotless and shiny and all that good stuff. Another pot and pan that I think is great, that everybody thinks is great, is cast iron. You just got to make sure you know how to maintain it, like not putting it in the dishwasher. A lot of people deal with the seasoning of a cast iron skillet, which means the flavors that you cook in there kind of stay in there. And you just have to know how to oil it and make sure that it's still nice and greased and not dry. But cast iron cooks amazingly even. Cooks all type of stuff. So stainless steel, cast iron, heavier products. Both of those are heavier products. So that's kind of what you should look for. I would not get the 3 for $10 pans with the red or blue paint on the bottom that burns off the first time that you put it on the stove top. I would not get that type stuff. Same thing with like things that you put in the oven. Another thing that would be good is if the pots and pans that you can actually put in the oven that have the metal handle. They do get hot. You'll need an oven mitt, but you can actually throw those in the oven. So let's say you're doing mac and cheese and you have it in your pan and you're ready to stick it into the oven. Instead of having to transfer, you can just throw your pan in the oven. That's what metal handles do. Of course, plastic does not go well with heat. So those are the things that I kind of look for that can be good investments as far as the pots and pans. Use good oil. When I say good oil with high heat point. Now, olive oil is great on salads, great on things that don't take a lot of heat in order to cook, like sauteing, things like that. But if you're pan frying something, if you're stir frying something, I would use something with a higher heat point. I love avocado oil. Avocado oil is amazing. It doesn't give a crazy taste to it. It can discolor some of your baked goods if you put it in there. You'll notice that it can discolor it and make it kind of green. But other than that, you really can't see much color in it when you're frying something on the stove top or anything like that. Avocado oil. If you use an abundance of oil, avocado oil is a little expensive. But corn oil, peanut oil is my go-to if I'm like deep frying something, making some French fries or something like that, or deep frying some mushrooms. I'll go ahead and use peanut oil. It also has a high heat point. It's great. It distributes heat well. So those are the oils that I would look at. But you may want to make sure that you get oils with high heat points. Make sure, olive oil is good, coconut oil is good, but not for cooking something on the stove top. So just have an understanding of how hot your stove top will be with regard to your oil. Most stove tops work around that 350 and up range as far as like when you're actually cooking. So just focus on oils that say that they can handle heat above 350. Get a small timer for your kitchen. I say that because when you first start out, you don't have an internal clock in your head. You don't sit and say, oh man, let me check on the beans, or oh, Is this ready to flip, or is that ready to change? So you want something that is constantly jogging your memory, that you have something to check on. When you get in the kitchen, you usually, if you're cooking for a lot of people, usually don't do one pot meals. One pot meals are great, they're amazing, but sometimes you may have 2 or 3 pots, and you may have to check on it. You may have the quinoa over here, maybe stir frying over here, or cooking a nice little mushroom steak or whatever, some tofu, whatever you have different times and for different things. Having a timer just to jog your memory, set it for 3 minutes or 2 minutes at a time, just to make sure that you're always alert and checking stuff. So just get a little cheap timer. You can get them from anywhere. I won't say the stores because I'm not getting paid by anybody, but get a timer, and that will really help you in the kitchen jog your memory. To go along with that, you should go ahead and stay in the kitchen. Just do. Like, anybody who's cooking should probably stay in the kitchen, but especially a newbie, a new person, stay in the kitchen, because it could be something like you're frying something in your cast iron, and you have, let's say, mushrooms, and you have the grease, and it's a nice height, and then those mushrooms start to cook, and that juice starts to come out of those mushrooms, and it just starts to peak, and then it boils over, and you got the grease on a fire, and that's just a problem ready to happen, right? But if you're there and you can actually visually see something rising, you can cut the heat down, you can pull it off the heat for a second, you can pull some mushrooms out so it can lower the height of the liquid. I mean, there are a bunch of things that you can do to prevent something if you can actually see it happen. So stay in the kitchen. That'll keep you from burning down your apartment, burning down your house, burning down somebody else's kitchen. If you want to have the best results, you have to be diligent. It's just like anything else. So when you first starting out, don't run to the garage, don't run to the restroom unless you really have to, and then you maybe want to cut, your heat down on certain things and things like that. But I would definitely say stay in the kitchen. Save you a lot of trouble, save you a lot of money, save you a lot of repairs. So that's it for me. I gave you some quick tips for beginners who want to get in that kitchen and really cook up, do some good stuff. With time, everybody becomes a great cook. All you got to do is give it time. But the things that you want to know is invest in good utensils, good cooking utensils, pots and pans. You want to get the right oils that don't cook your stuff too fast on the outside. Then you think they're done and you give it to somebody and it's just really ridiculous on the inside. And then you want to get a timer, an external timer, so then it can kind of work on your internal timer, just to make sure that everything you're cooking, nothing really burns. And then just stand in the kitchen, stand there. Take your 30 minutes to an hour, be focused on what you're doing, make sure you don't burn anything down, and you'll be good to go. That's it for my tips this week. Stay tuned. I'll try to hit you next week. If I don't hit you next week, it'll probably be the following week with more tips. But yeah, keep hope alive, keep cooking, keep loving, keep living. I'll see y'all later.